The Lown Children. George Andrew, 1828, Charles Nelson, 1831, David Lewis, 1833, Mary J., 1834, and James Robert Lown, 1838, all died in 1838, and Nancy R. Lown, 1836 to 1839. Theirs is a rectangular curved top marker in the first section of St. Paul's Lutheran Church Cemetery in the village of Red Hook, on the south side of the road located directly behind the church. A memorial stone in St. Paul's Lutheran Church Cemetery identifies William and Olena Lown's 6 children who passed away in childhood. Their youngest daughter, Nancy R. Lown's name is at the top of the marker, which is next to the marker of the children's grandfather, David D. Lown, who died on June 25, 1862, at the age of 83. 5 of William and Olena's other children, George, Charles, David, Mary, and James, are noted as having been lost on Lake Erie June 6, 1838. Perhaps the children are buried here, or maybe the marker is a cenotaph to memorialize the children. Research shows that there was not an accident there on June 6th, but a steamboat caught fire and went down on June 16th of that year, so we can presume that this is the tragedy that resulted in the 5 Lown children perishing. It is difficult to know why the children of William and Olena Lown were on the steamer George Washington as it made its journey on Lake Erie. We assume that one or both parents were on board with their children when a tragic and horrific accident occurred in the pre-dawn hours of a June voyage, leading to the deaths of an estimated 50 people, including the 5 Lown children. There is an uncertainty regarding the details of the horrific event, but clearly the grief of the Lown family experiencing 6 children die in such a short time span would have been insurmountable. Much is murky about the steamboat accident, despite many newspaper reports. According to an account by Louis F. Pelletier, the historian of Silver Creek, a village located on Lake Erie in Chautauqua County in western New York, the vessel was a side-wheeled wooden steamship built around 1837 in Ashtabula, Ohio, with a high-temperature boiler on wooden decks. Many sources reported the steamer was on its maiden voyage, traveling from Buffalo to Cleveland, although Pelletier's research indicates it most likely was headed from Cleveland to Buffalo. The steamship caught fire about 3 miles from shore and could not navigate towards safety because it was engineered with a wheel rope steering mechanism. The fire that most likely started in the boiler of the ship also burned through the ropes, making it impossible to steer, posited newspaper accounts at the time. Pelletier notes the industry was beginning to move from rope steering mechanisms to iron rods, which would have led to a much different outcome if the George Washington had been so outfitted. The residents of Silver Creek, alerted to the steamship on fire off their shore, attempted to rescue as many passengers as they could. The crew of a nearby steamer named the North American also assisted in the rescue efforts. Casualties occurred when people suffered burns from the flames on board the ship or drowned when they leapt into the cold Lake Erie waters. Because the ship's manifest and passenger list was lost to the fire, not everyone could be accounted for, states Virginia Becker in a post by the Sheridan Historical Society of October 2022. Among them, we can assume, were the 5 Lown children who perished. Most likely, one or both of their parents and maybe siblings were on board as well and somehow survived. Those details remain to be unearthed, but no matter the specifics, an unfathomable and grievous loss had occurred. The children's father was William Lown, born June 26, 1803, to David and Rebecca Bice Lown in Red Hook. He was married to Oleta Clark Lown, the daughter of Jabez and Peggy Clark, born in 1903 as well. The 1830 census reports 2 adults and 4 persons under the age of 20 residing in Red Hook under the household of William Lauer. A little over a decade after the accident, William, a farmer, and Oleta are listed in the 1850 U.S. Census residing in Red Hook, along with children William, aged 20, Eliza Jane, aged 10, and Asaba, age 8. At some point, William and Olena emigrated to the Midwest, living in Illinois and Indiana. The 1860 U.S. Census listed a farmer named William Lawn, age 57, and his wife Elida, age 58, along with William Lawn, age 32, and Kate Lawn, age 21, residing in Dundee in King County, Illinois. The Lowns lived next in Elgin, Illinois, in an Italianate-style house at 1012 Duncan Avenue, built around 1868 for William and Alida Lown for $800. It was one of the first two homes to be built on Duncan Avenue. The Lowns did not own the property long until selling it to Melvin Armstrong, reports the historic Elgin website. William and Olena Lown eventually moved to Indiana. The 1870 U.S. Census reported William H. Lown, age 66, and Alida Lown, age 67, both native to New York and residing in Kankakee, LaPorte, Indiana. William's occupation was listed as gardener, and his wife says keeping house, and no children resided with them at the time. William died May 29, 1881, and Olena died November 21, 1889, and both are buried in the Rolling Prairie Cemetery in Rolling Prairie, LaPorte County, Indiana.